Hello there, and welcome back to another IRC league race. Today, we will be racing on the Autodromo Edino Ferrari, better known as the Imola Grand Prix. This circuit held its first Grand Prix in 1981, although it is used to be called the San Marino Grand Prix. After 2006, they decided to not hold any races until 2020. The race will consist of a one-shot quali which is already driven, with a 25% race afterwards. To finish the night off, we will see a 50% race to decide who will win the actual Grand Prix. The league has decided to hold a 5-minute break in between the sprint and the actual race. The drivers will have to complete 29 laps of each around 4.9 kilometers, which would be 3 miles. The distance traveled would be a total of 158 kilometers. The track is known for its windy arrest straight and difficult overtaking into the third sector. Will the drivers keep it clean on track, or will we see another few safety cars like last week? Let's find out. So right now, we see that there is already a safety car going on. Very unfortunate that my stream wasn't really recording. My sincere apologies for that, as I'm going to try to get some audio for you guys, as currently you are not able to hear anything. As you should be able to hear something now, I'm gonna check a little bit on my phone to see if you guys can hear any sound, as there's a safety car occurring at the moment. I'm gonna mute myself for a bit, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. Hello, Mr. Big Sausage. I don't think you can hear um, any sound of the game actually, as it seems like I'm having a few drops um, on my screen. I'm not sure how that's appearing, as it is already fixed right now. So I'm gonna put my phone into break. As we can see right now, the race already has started again. So the safety car will come in right now. As I told you guys, it's a 25% sprint race followed by a 50% actual race. As we see right now, it's raining with GFO Salamaris in the first place, followed by Thames Shadow, as both drivers have switched positions. It seems like there's already two people out in the race. It's Scenario. I think it's the winner from last race. And You Don't Trust Me was actually a very unfortunate last race. He did have, well, he DNF'd in the pits, although he might have had to stay out because there was a safety car during the race. So let's have a look, as there is a little battle going on here between Mystery and Metaxakis. Who will come on top? Uh, well, the second sector, very well known as a difficult sector. I think this is one of the only corners where you can overtake. Also, the first corner would be one where it's a very high chance of overtaking. Although in this section, it seems like it's very difficult. Also here, you will have to dive bomb and maybe go a little bit wide onto the exit, as we can see a few drivers do here, such as Metaxakis. And Asdok right now wasn't there last race, or he DNF'd, I'm not quite sure yet. But he did manage to catch 4 places already, so that's absolutely amazing for the AlphaTauri driver, as it is a little bit difficult driving in the wets here in Imola, as Salamaris right now has put the fastest lap in. So I'm going to give a little bit of information, as we see a yellow flag going on here for the Red Bull driver. He came into the pits. He doesn't seem to make any space for the drivers, as there is a glitch going on right now. Joe Westy DNF'd and he actually came back on track, so that's the AI's fault. Let's have a look if we can see any fights going on right now. as it seems like McMuffin overtook Gotards here. Gotards being first in the Niki Lauda's championship road. So I'm going to give a little bit of information about what the league does. They're currently holding their 12th season with a normal driver standings and a Niki Lauda championship. So the Niki Lauda championship is actually for newer drivers and drivers who haven't won a race last season and or didn't get any points. I'm not quite sure, as those drivers will be in one championship, and we might be able to see the track info. Let's talk about the track info first, guys. So of course it's very difficult right now with the rain, but the fastest lap actually ever recorded in quali was a 113.6. So I don't see that's gonna be beaten today. Best lap record 115.4. So the drivers are actually not doing a bad job. In the wets, only 15 seconds slower, as we see the fastest lap right now has been set with the 130.4, I think it is. I don't think there is any IRC t-shirts, unfortunately. Let's have a look at the standings right now. As this will be the driver standings, of course, the drivers who are in the Niki Lauda Championship can also be in the Drivers' Championship. So Gotards, who is right now P3, will come on top at the Niki Lauda Championship, as we see Bilton Matt and GFO Talamaris being in P1 and 2 right now. So absolutely amazing from the Mercedes guys, as we want to have a look at the constructors at the moment. It seems like the Mercedes is coming on top, although in the left-hand side of the screen we see the Niki Lauda Championship, where Gotards and You Don't Trust are P1 and P2. So let's get back to the race, as it doesn't seem to be working right now. It does right now. So Gotards has been overtaken by McMuffin, Timmy. And let's get back to the front too, as we see that they made a little bit of a gap on GFO Metaxaki. So GFO, Talamaris, and Thames are really showing some pace, as they are putting right now on 129.1. Absolutely amazing for these two drivers, as they are showing some great pace here in Imola. I'm not sure if it's going to rain later, as the 50% race is still coming. But I do think it's going to be dry here in Imola, and then we will see the true pace of these drivers, as some drivers are not really that fast in the wet weather. I think, well, the best driver, in my opinion, is Bilton Matt here. He's right now P8, Mercedes driver, as he is first in the championship, although I do think he is not that fast here on the wet tires. So that might be a little bit of a disadvantage going into the actual race, but I do think he's going to be able to get some positions back. Right now, he's 3 positions gained, so that means he had a bad qualifying, as it was only a one-shot qualifying. And we don't see a lot of small gaps here, although we do see Double Cream Cat and Hawk, who were battling the last race too in Australia. It actually was, where I think Hawk pushed out Double Cream Cat to Double Cream Cat. I'm not really sure. And I think all time is going to be built on Matt too, because he's the owner of the league, and I think he has been here for the longest time, as Metaxakis right now is trying to get back to these top 2 guys, as I do think they are battling at the moment. So Metaxakis putting in the fastest lap, although he does have 10% ERS, and these 2 drivers up front also have below 20%. So we do see a little bit of a battle going on here between Bilton Matt and Muck Timmy. And it seems like Bilton Matt didn't take any advantage, and he is getting overtaken by Gotards. So that's a great move by Gotards, the McLaren driver, as he is trying to get some points up, because he is trying to get back to that top 1 and 2 position in the championship. Gotards, I think he's one of the newer drivers, because how he is driving right now, it doesn't seem like he couldn't get any points or win the race. Well, he could last season, but if he wasn't there, it wouldn't be possible to, of course, as he seems like getting quite a big of a gap onto Bilton Matt, as he is not showing great pace here on these wet tires. So maybe he has put a dry setup on. Might be a little bit of a mistake by the Mercedes driver, as we want to get back to these front three drivers. As Thames right now is in the DRS, although it is raining, so we cannot use any DRS. As I'm going to look at the chat right now. I'm not sure what you mean right now, buddy, with the 8-year-old son. Let's get back to another driver as we see physical right now coming into the pits as he is. No, it is actually Hawk and Double Cream Cat who are coming into the pits. They might be pitting for another set of wets. Maybe they're even going on to the intermediates if they think it's a good strategy. Let's have a look what they are going to do, as it seems like they are having front wing damage and they are actually going on to the intermediate. So we want to have a little bit of information about how fast these drivers will be compared to the top few drivers, as we see Physico already gaining quite a few tenths coming into this second sector uh, compared to Bill and Matt, my apologies, as the top three drivers are actually more coming closer and closer to each other. So are these drivers going to go on to the intermediates? Will that cost them a lot of time? As we do have to keep in mind that some drivers will stay out, and then the drivers have to get back for, I think it's about 20 seconds you lose in the pit. So there isn't actually going to be anyone coming into the pits, which is quite a strategy, as we see Physical already gaining quite a few seconds, although the third sector doesn't seem like the intermediate tires are faster, as Roscoe right now is coming into the McLaren driver. I think he has done quite well last race in Australia, um, and his team even did better. So Physical right now overtaking Roscoe, and I think it's quite a big of a challenge to get back into that maybe top seven, top six position for Physical right now, as he is not really gaining too much time on Gotards, as he does still have 6 laps going. I'm not sure how old he is, Big Sausage. My apologies. I'm not going to say any age. I have seen him on his Facebook, and he does have an age compared to me, of course. But I'm not going to give any information about that. Of course, as we see, Salamari is taking a little bit of a gap onto Tab's Shadow, who is followed by Metaxakis. So are we going to see a little bit of a battle going on here between the Haas driver and the Williams driver? As it seems like the Williams driver is a little bit faster into the third sector, as he is already in within 1 second. Although he doesn't seem to have a straight line speed setup, as Razy right now caught his first 3 second penalty. And that's not really great because he is trying to get away from Roscoe, who is right behind him, who pitted onto intermediate tires and also 7 lap newer tires. So um, that wouldn't be very ideal. As right now, Metaxaki is within 7 tenths of Temsedo. So he is actually coming a little bit closer. It seems like he can handle the wet tires a little bit better, as they are already 10 lap old. It is Matt Beaver's league. I think. Well, I'm not sure. The Matt I'm talking about is Matt Bilton, and I'm not sure if you guys refer to Matt Bilton as Matt Beaver. So let's get back here to McMuffin, as he is trying to make a move onto the Aston Martin driver. Is he going to be able to make a beautiful move going on here? It's going to be very interesting to see here in the third sector, as it is very difficult to overtake here during this little chicane. I find it very difficult to nail it, actually, as a lot of drivers are actually trying to go over the curb, as I don't like that very much, because you're basically cutting the corners, abusing the track limits, and you're not really getting a penalty for that if the settings are on straight. So onto the main straight right now. He has 30% of DRS. ERS, how much has the Aston Martin driver? He still has 70%. So he's going to make it on top right before here, as it seems like the Alfa Romeo driver is making a beautiful move. Although it was not that beautiful, actually, he pushed the Aston Martin driver a little bit wide, as it occurs that he missed his braking port, unfortunately. So MUFC Timmy will get a small penalty for that, I think. Yeah, I call him McMuffin. My apologies. As we see Metaxakis right now making a move onto Thames Shadow, as he already made the move done before the actual corner was there. So yes, we do want to see a little bit of a battle going on here at the middle because I'm quite sure that Portal Farm is going to try and make a move back onto MUFC Timmy because there hasn't been done a great move there by the Alfa Romeo driver. So he has to hope of a little bit of a battle. As we see right now, Razy losing his car. Very unfortunate for the Aston Martin driver because he was actually not doing very bad, as it seems like Physical is actually doing quite well here on these intermediate tires, as he did manage to get a 10-second gap closed in 3 laps. So Gotar's right now coming in for the intermediate tires, as he doesn't want to lose too much time onto his teammates Roscoe at the moment. So Roscoe putting in the fastest lap, 128, as Built and Matt succeeded to put a better lap in a 127.9. So Built and Matt right now in P11, will he be able to overtake a few of those guys at the front? I don't think there is enough time to do that, since he is already around 20 seconds behind. So it wouldn't be possible to overtake them. Although I do think that Physical is going to be able to overtake them. I think Van Beaver is 11th right now, as he made a little bit of a move. Going on to, well, he got a position from Godarts, who went into the pits. So let's get back here. Sportal Farm is going to try and make a move onto Mystery. It doesn't seem like Mystery is that well of a wet weather god, as he seemed to be way faster in Australia than here in Imola right now, as he is losing a lot of time onto the Aston Martin, as he is coming in right now. So that's going to be a very interesting strategy for the Ferrari driver, as it is still 2 seconds, 2 laps into the race. As we do see, there is a 5 second penalty for Mystery at the moment. He's coming onto another set of wets, so that's very unfortunate, as I do think there has been a mistake in the Ferrari strategy department. I do think that Beaver will do well, guys, as he shows great pace around here right now, overtaking Mystery. And I think he will be able to come a little bit closer in the actual race, as it is 32 laps, so he will have a lot of time to overtake quite a few people, as he's going to try and make a move here on Reezy, who did spin out in, I think it's the second sector a few laps ago, as MUFC Timmy right now got a 3 second penalty suit. So we want to have a look at how many penalties there have been going on. Let's have a look. So Thames right now with a 3 second penalty, MUFC Timmy with a 3 second penalty, Physico and Roscoe too. And then we've got Reezy with a 6 second penalty. So actually all Bilton has to do is keep it clean, as he doesn't want to lose too much time behind the Aston Martin driver, because he has 9 seconds already, so he will be able to overtake him anyways. Then we got Mystery with 5 seconds, Hawk 2. No, it seems like Godard has 5 seconds and Hawk has 3 seconds. So Physical right now getting overtaken, as he is not coming in. Actually, I thought he was going to come in, but it seems like he got overtaken by Portal Farm let's have a look back at the tires since Portal Farm is right now on the wet tires and Physical is onto the intermediate tires. So it will be interesting to see what the drivers are able to do. Will the Aston Martin driver be able to keep traction? I don't think he's going to be a lot. Well, there's going to be a lot of traction on these wet tires. I was reading the chat, guys. My apologies. So let's have a look at Portal Farm. It seems like he's already out of that 1 second. So as Thames is getting really close onto the tail of Metaxakis right now, as it seems like both GFO drivers have been practicing quite a lot, or they are just very talented here around Imola. As they are currently P1 and P2, Salamaris has made a big gap onto these two drivers as they are battling quite fast. Physical with a beautiful strategy. He was around P8 or P9, I think, and then he pitted onto intermediates as he already gained quite a few positions. Let's have a look at the position changes as he did manage to get 5 positions. So he lost a few in the beginning of the race due to the safety car and all those strategies going on. And he did manage to get back up to P5. So that's absolutely amazing for the Red Bull driver as we want to have a look at the penalties as Godards managed to get another fastest lap at the moment. So what will the penalties do? So actually all Metaxakis has to do right now is just keep it clean, like I told Dalton Matt to keep it clean too, as he doesn't have to risk anything because Stam's Shadow has 3 seconds of penalty. So all he has to do is either let them go in front and then just stay right behind him, or or just defend, but not that not that aggressively, as it is going to be the last lap here. So it seems like he got in front of him. So don't do anything stupid right now. As we see, Bilton Matt will take 0 position, so he will be at 8 position. I'm not sure what position he started from. Let's have a look. He started from P11, so actually 3 positions gained. That's not very bad for the Mercedes driver. As we want to have a look at the fastest lap right now, 126.4. So it does seem like the track has evolved with a 4 second gain from the beginning of the race till the end of the race. And I'm gonna have another apology for you guys for missing the actual one-shot quali because my computer was doing a little bit of weird stuff and it didn't seem to capture any remote play from my PlayStation. So I did fix it right now. There has been said some bad words, as there is going to be a little bit of a break right now between the sprint race and the actual race, as there is going to be a 50% race right now. We will see Salamaris coming out of the paddock as he's coming onto the podium to receive his trophy for winning the sprint race here around Imola. Also known as the previous, San Marino Grand Prix, as Imola is actually finding himself into the San Marino. Is San Marino actually a country? I'm not really sure, but San Marino had a Grand Prix, and then they decided to stop racing around here. And then in 2020, they decided to do another few races, as we see around here in the Imola Grand Prix being in the game. Salamaris with a 129.0 as his best lap. It seems like the wet tires were 4 seconds slower than the intermediate tires, so I'm not sure if it was the right call for those top guys to not come in to the pits and go on to those intermediates. As we only had 2 DNFs, I think, 3 DNFs actually. Joe Westy in the Red Bull, Scenario, who won last race in Australia in a Ferrari, and You Don't Trust Me He was actually in P4. He started this race in P4, and I'm not sure what happened because we missed the first few races, the first few laps of the sprint race. But I do think something has happened between both drivers there who were DNF'd quite early in the race. So, we do want to have a little bit of a track info as I'm gonna get a little bit of water right now as I will be back in a few seconds. So we see that the lap is gonna, the amount of laps is gonna be 32 laps. So that's something to look out for in 5 minutes. All right, guys, welcome back. There is going to be a 5 minute break, like I told you guys already, as the drivers are getting set and they are currently trying to get a good, setting the grid perfectly since this was a sprint race and there will be a 50% race right now. But a little bit administration is to be going on since they will have to sort the grid out themselves. As I made a little bit of a strategy prediction, the sprint race. So sprint race basically the drivers. Well, it's gonna start with the actual qualifying where the drivers have to qualify for the sprint race, and the sprint race is basically a little bit of a qualifying, but put into a race situation where the drivers, well, the outcome of the sprint race is going to be the starting position for the actual race, which in this case is a 50% race and the sprint race was a 25% race. So in the actual in real life F1, we do see that there is a sprint race also going on, but those laps are a little bit shorter as it is, I think, 1/3 of the actual race, and right now we had a half. So that's something the admins decided to do a 25% race instead of the actual sprint race or laps. So yeah, I hope that sorts some things out as I'm currently showing the possible strategy around the Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari circuit, as I do think that the medium hards is going to be the fastest around here, followed by the soft hards. It is going to be very interesting to see if we are going to get a early safety car or a late safety car. As if there is going to be a late safety car, but this is going to be a very late safety car, we will see a hard soft strategy. Although when there is going to be a little bit of a earlier safety car, it is going to be a hard medium stop. When the drivers are starting on the softs, but there's going to be a late safety car, of course you have to hope there's going to be a late safety car, because if you are trying to my apologies, as you are trying to my apologies guys, I lost words, as you are going to try and stretch these softs as much as possible, you are actually losing time but hoping for a safety car where you can get those seconds back. So if it's going to be a late safety car and you are going to start on the softs, you will have to go from softs to mediums. I am okay, guys. Thank you. I've got. I have to go to the doctors tomorrow since I've got tonsil stones. Uh, it's very annoying because it's like these stones are going around in my throat, so it's not actually very nice to have them. And so the hard tires are not actually the best. The soft tires will be the fastest all around the track, but the hard tires will last the longest. So you will be a little bit slower onto these hard tires as you will have less traction. Although the durability of the hard tires is way better, and then the medium tires is in between both, where you have less reliability than the hard tires, but you are faster than the hard tires and you will have more reliability than the soft tires, but you are a little bit slower than soft tires. And how are you guys knowing this leak actually? Where did you find me? Make sure to let me know, as I do want to have a little bit of information about my viewers, as I am very interested in what the viewers, well, where the viewers are from, if you know a few of these drivers, as it does seem like you guys know a few of these drivers, as you already have um, nicknames for them. So that's amazing to hear. Is the sound a little bit better? Is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Make sure to let me know, as I do want to get the most information about that. Maybe we want to have a look at the standings real quick. Um, okay, thank you very much, Big Sausage. As the right table, it is the Constructors Championship, and the left one is the Niki Lauda Championship. So we see that Gotards right now, who placed himself into, I think it was seventh position in the sprint race, is first in the actual Niki Lauda Championship. So for those who don't know what the Nicolada Championship is. It is actually a little championship where new drivers and drivers who I think didn't score a point last season can battle for the Niki Lauda trophy. And at the right column, we see that Mercedes is actually first, followed by Alfa Romeo, although there is 17 points difference. So that's going to be very interesting to keep in mind, as we don't see any Alfa Romeo driver at the top. As I think there has been a little bit of a, oh yeah, it's a new sort of way for these drivers, as the top 8 has been switched around. So actually 8th place will start from first, and first place will start from the 8th place. I am not going to read that, guys, because it is a live stream for a professional league, as we don't want to say anything stupid going into this race. I like you too, Small Sausage. It's very nice to hear you guys sometimes here in this stream, as we want to know if there actually has been some strategies going on for these drivers, as they might want to start from P1, so they could have gone P8 actually in the sprint race, so that would bring him back to P1 in the actual race. Yes, Beaver is indeed second, as he placed himself in 7th position in the sprint race, and those positions have been switched around, since each position will go to the other. Well, it's difficult to explain for a non-native English speaker, as we see that Roscoe qualified P8 in the sprint qualifying, and Bilton P7, and then Porto P6, Physical P5, and then Salamaris, who actually won the sprint race, got 8 points for that. Right now starts from 8th position. So you also get a little bit of a Well, a little bit of points during the sprint qualifying, as the top eight will get, um, well, the first place will get 8 points, and the eighth place will get 1 point. I think it is like that. So the drivers will try to put their car right now into the grid position, as they will have to try to put their car at the best position possible, since there are limits. We see a few disqualifications now. That means that they crossed the line. I'm not sure who Annie Palmer is, guys. My apologies, but there is only a Drivers' Cup and a Niki Lauda Cup going on right now. So, as all drivers are getting set onto the grid, we want to have all the lights out, and that is right now, as the race is going on here in the Imola Grand Prix, better known as Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari. As we see a good start from Bilton Matt, also known as Matt Beaver for some of you guys in the chat. As there has been going on some battles already, we want to see the position changes as Fisico overtook only one driver actually, but Portal Farm lost the position too, as AZ Dog is trying to get back into that fourth position, as he did got overtaken by the Aston Martin driver, who was P3 at the beginning of the race. So there you see a little bit of a strategy prediction from the game itself. They are suggesting a medium hard strategy. So we will have to look at the tires right now to see what the drivers are on. So we see that Bilton Matt decided to go from a soft strategy to another strategy. He might go soft hard or soft medium. And basically almost every driver is up to the mediums except for Mystery and Salamaris together with Bilton Matt. It's going to be very interesting to see what strategy they will be going on, as the game itself suggests to go from a soft to a medium tire if you are starting on the soft tires. So Bilton Matt is already making quite a bit of a gap onto Roscoe, who right now is in P2 getting chased by Fisico, the Red Bull driver. And let's have a look at Mystery right now, as he already got 6 positions gained, so that's absolutely amazing for the Ferrari driver. Also his teammate right now, Scenario, being in P14, gained 2 positions. As we see, Metaxakis is the biggest loser of the start, as he lost 8 positions during the race start. So that's an unfortunate result for Metaxakis, but he did get a few points during the actual race. So I think there's going to be a little bit of controversy towards the reversed grid when the sprint race has been going on. Although it is, of course, Beaver's strategy. Decision, because he is the league owner. So Joesti already with a 3-second penalty. That's very early for the Red Bull driver, as he does seem to not show great pace around here in Imola. And it seems like you guys are correct about that. It seems like Beaver need a safety car, although he might go onto the hard tires after his soft tires have run out. And the DRS is available right now, as we see that Roscoe already caught up. There's a little bit of battling going on here between Portal Farm and Physico, and MUFC Timmy is trying to get back into that third position. As he did gain 5 positions already, so absolutely amazing drive from the Alfa Romeo driver at the moment, who seems to show great pace, as Metaxakis already retired from the session. So it went from bad to worse for the Williams driver. He does have a few points already in the bag, so he doesn't really have to worry for the for the championship, as we do want to have a look at the championship at the moment, since there is a yellow car going on. A yellow flag, a yellow car. That's called a safety car. So this is the championship right now, for the drivers, of course. And we see that Metaxakis right now is I think it is for is P8 at the moment. So he does have to catch a lot of points to come back for that championship. And we are probably going to see a green flag right now. As it seems like the game is a little bit glitched. So there we go. Green flags all over the place. Let's get back here to P4, as it seems like the Alfa Romeo driver is getting overtaken by the AlphaTauri driver. And oh no, that's very unfortunate for MUFC Timmy, as he did gain 5 positions, or was it 8? I'm not quite sure. But he gained a lot of positions at the race start. And right now he is P15 because he lost traction during a battle with AZ Dog. AZ Dog, who is at the front of a little bit of a train at the moment. It seems like almost 6 or 7 drivers are within 1 second of each other. So that's going to give a little bit of a DRS train going onto the main straight in a few seconds, as we see Mystery is going to try and overtake AZ Dog. He already gained 10 positions, so that's not too bad from the Ferrari driver, as he does have to watch out for Thames Shadow right behind him, since he is within 5/10 of the Ferrari driver. Joesti again with 3 seconds of penalty. So I'm not sure what Joesti is thinking at the moment, as we see Roscoe crashing out in the last corner. So that's absolutely unfortunate for the Alpine driver. And let's have a look at AZ Dog, who did manage to get himself into P2, followed by Mystery P3 right now, gaining 11 positions. And the biggest winner of today, who did show great pace during the qualifying, the one-shot qualifying. He does have 12 positions gained at the moment, as I'm going to put a little bit of a my window open because it's very hot here in Belgium. As I do need to have a little bit of, well, a little bit of oxygen to commentate, of course. As Thames right now is within 3 seconds of the Ferrari driver. It does seem like he is cutting quite a few corners. Well, it's not really cutting corners, but it seems like he's abusing all the track limits, even a little bit too much. As I do think that he has a few warnings already. So we will see a 3-second penalty for Damn Shadow if he keeps continue driving like this. And let's have a look at another driver, as we see Godard. Is he gonna try and overtake the Ferrari driver scenario here, as he did gain 9 positions? So the Ferrari drivers are really putting in their powertrain on, and not really, how am I gonna say it? Having that bad luck they had in the sprint qualifying, as it seems like both drivers already gained almost 10 positions, with Scenario gaining 9 and Mystery gaining 10. So that's an average of 10 positions, guys. Absolutely amazing by the Ferrari drivers, as we do want to see a little bit of a battling going on here between Damn Shadow, Mystery, and AZ Dog for the second place, as it seems like You Don't Trust Me is going to try and make abuse of this little battle that's been going on here between the Ferrari driver and the Haas driver. I am doing okay, guys. Thank you. Let's have a look here with Gotards, as he is making a move onto the Ferrari, with Portal Farm having a 3-second penalty right now. So will Gotards be able to hold this position for still, I think it is 24 laps, 25 laps actually, with Built-in Matt right now crossing the line, as he did abuse the strategy actually from the reversed grid from P1 to P8, as it seems like he is not really losing any time, but he started from P1, although he qualified himself in the sprint race at P7, my apologies. So AZ Dog is going to try and come back. He cannot fight too much with the Ferrari driver, so he either has to let him go so they can use each other as a little bit of a tow coming back to Built-in Matt, as both teams have to work together, or they are going to battle for P2 and not going to be able to come back to Built and Matt. Although there is one thing we have to keep in mind right now. Built and Matt is actually on the soft tires, 6-lap-old soft tires, and it seems like there is a yellow flag going on. Is there going to be a safety car? I don't think there is, as we see Godards right now being in P13. It seems like he lost traction or either got it taken out. So Hawk at 2-lap-old hard. So will he be able to make it till the end of the race? That's going to be something to look out for, as Hawk will have a little bit of a battle with Physical right now, who is on 2-lap-old soft. So that's not really a fair comparison between both drivers. If we want to have a look at the front, Mystery right now, 7-lap-old soft. So his soft will will die soonly, as the soft tires are not that overpowered anymore here around the F122 game. We're gonna have a look at how many penalties Westy has right now. He already has 12 seconds of penalty, so he will get disqualified within a few laps if he keeps continue driving like this. As it seems like Thames is going to try and make a move on the inside of the Ferrari driver, but it seems like the Alpine driver is going to abuse this kind of overtake, since he will just follow the Ferrari driver and he will try to fight for that P3, as it seems like Thames made the move work here in the second sector, actually one of the most difficult sectors to overtake, I think. And you don't trust me, within 1/10 of his competitor right now, will he be able to overtake the Ferrari driver, or will both drivers be able to overtake Thames, as they both have to use DRS onto the main straight? There's only one DRS section here in Imola, but it is a very long one, as we see Mystery coming in for his new tires. As we want to have a look at how many which tires the drivers are going on who went onto the mediums, as we see that Built and Matt went onto the soft. So he expects there's going to be a safety car within now, and I think it's going to be 8 or 9 laps. I'm not sure how long these drivers are onto these tires. As we see, GFO Salamari is going to try and stay out a few laps onto the softs. Built and Matt not with the ideal strategy going onto the soft tires. I think he should have went onto the hard tires, as we see a Alfa Romeo driver standing on the side there. So it seems like Haas, no, it's actually MUFC Timmy who lost traction. Very unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo driver, as he was putting a great performance in during the beginning of the race and also during the sprint qualifying. So let's get back to the front two here, as they are battling it out for P1. Fred West wasn't able to race today, so that's unfortunate to not see him on the track. But nevertheless, we want to see all drivers always on the track, but that's not always possible, since this league has, I think, too much drivers to fill a full grid, to fill all the drivers into the grid. So let's have a look at, it seems like GFO Salamaris is coming in right now for another set of tires, and maybe there's going to be a little bit of rain, because it's looking a little bit foggy right now, as it might be a little bit of a strategy call from Built and Matt, as he might think there is going to be a wet tire situation in a few laps, and he wants to take advantage of those soft tires as much as possible. It seems like there's a yellow flag going on right now, so it seems like this McMuffin is coming in. MUFC Timmy, my apologies, as I am calling him McMuffin. GFO Salamaris. It seems like Double Cream Cat has lost traction during his battle with Salamaris. I think, I'm not quite sure, as we want to have a look at Built and Matt, who is going to be able to make an overtake here on Reezy, since he is already on 9-lap-old mediums, and Built and Matt is on new, fresh softs. So that shouldn't be a very difficult task for the Mercedes driver, as we see Porto Fong getting 5 seconds of penalties. Also, I forgot to mention that Mystery has got a 5-second penalty too, as we see Thames overtaking the AlphaTauri driver at the moment. because of DRS. So that's good for the Haas driver, as we want to see a little bit of a points for the Haas driver, as there is beautiful racing going on here around Imola, as we don't want to miss this overtake action by Bilton Matt, as he is abusing that DRS to overtake the Aston Martin driver. And now all he has to do is try to get as much time as possible into that second and third sector that he is out of the DRS for the Aston Martin driver, as he doesn't seem to be defending on the inside, so he wasn't really scared of the Aston Martin driver diving into his inside. So let's have a look what Bilton Matt will be able to do, as he is already outside that second. So that's absolutely amazing for the Mercedes driver. Let's get back here to third position, as it seems like You Don't Trust Me is gonna have the DRS on AZ Dog, and AZ Dog won't be able to get any DRS onto Thames Shadow. So we will see an overtake here from the Alpine driver, as we are going onto the main straight right now, and it's a very long main straight with only one DRS section. As it does not seem that he has obtained the DRS. That's very unfortunate to see. Let's get back to the hold on, I want to see the telemetry and the lab data. And let's get this away. As we see that Mystery right now putting in the fastest lap with a 119.7. So let's compare this to the actual track information we've got. The best lap right now ever recorded is a 115.4. So that's something to look out for. Will the drivers be able to beat that? As we saw that these drivers were able to beat the time that has been set on the Australian Grand Prix. And right now, the fastest lap ever recorded here in this race is a 119.7. So the drivers are not really there yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to beat this lap within a few laps, if they are going on to the softs, of course. Hawk right now planning an overtake onto Double Cream Cat, who is on 11 lap old medium. So his tires will die soon, as Hawk still has ratherly fresh hard tires. I don't think David Brownie is here, guys. My apologies. As we want to have a look at how is Bilton Matt going to be able to make this strategy work, as he went onto the soft tires after another soft stint. So that's absolutely unfortunate. Well, rather unfortunate for Bilton Matt, as I don't think he will be able to make a perfect strategy going on, as I think he should have stretched those soft tires to go onto a hard tire, as I think that would be the fastest strategy. Or maybe go onto the medium tires and hope for a late safety car to go onto the soft tires. I think that would be great for this Mercedes driver, but it doesn't seem like he has gotten the right pace at the moment. Although he is catching quite a few tenths onto the Aston Martin driver, as Mystery just overtook Reezy here in the second sector. And that's an amazing move by the Ferrari driver, since second sector, I already told you guys, it's a very difficult sector to overtake, as Double Cream Cat has lost it again in the first sector. You don't trust me. Is he gonna be able to get into that top 2 position, or will he stay in the third position? Although third position is not a bad result for this driver, since he had a little bit of an unfortunate result last race in Australia, where he DNF'd, and right after there was a safety car. So he was going to be able to come back, but he didn't really like that. So right now there are a few drivers coming in right now, such as Portal Farm and GFO Salamaris, as they are going on to new tires, as we want to have a look at how many seconds the Aston Martin driver actually has to stand still, as he did have to serve 5 seconds of penalties. Not sure how that happened, since I don't think he has pit yet, as P9 and P10 went onto the hard tires. So it is going to be interesting to see what strategy all the drivers are coming on, as I do see there is going to be a safety car. So Built and Matt might take a little bit of an abuse of this strategy, although I don't think it is going to work out for him since all the drivers in front of him went onto the medium tires at the start, and he right now already made a my apologies. He already made a pit stop, and it seems like he didn't really succeed to have a great strategy, pit stop strategy. My apologies, my dad just came into my room and he screamed at me. So let's have a look at You Don't Trust Me, as he is coming out for the hard tires, as it seems like Scenario went on to the soft tires. So that's something to keep in mind of. Will these drivers expect another safety car at the end stage of the race, or do they have information we don't have? Because there might be rain coming soon. We don't have any information about this. Of course, the drivers do because they have a engineer in their ear while driving. So I do think there are a lot of drivers who are on wheel right now. I'm not sure if Building Matt is on wheel, but he is first in the standings right now. So let's have a look at Mystery, as he did went onto the softs, including Built-in Matt, Roscoe, Scenario. Built-in Matt already went onto those soft tires for 3 laps, so I'm not sure what his thought is right now, since he already went on 3 different stints of softs. And Tem Shadow right now was onto the medium tires, already 14 lap old, didn't come into the pits. So that's not very ideal for the Haas driver, as he does have to make a pit stop later in the race. And I do think he's going onto the soft tires at the end of the stint. And let's get some more information about the strategy. Guys. As we know that Beaver, Matt already went onto the soft 3 times, so that's not really in my strategy prediction, as we see a lot of drivers going from the medium to the hard tires. So I think that was going to be the best call for the day. So VB Thomas actually made the strategy work. So all the drivers who have listened to VB Thomas, myself, did manage to get a few positions up. As we want to have a look at the positions gained, as almost all the drivers who went onto the hard tires have gained quite a few positions, and all the drivers who went onto the soft tires didn't really gain any positions, since we see that Bilt and Matt have lost 5 positions since he was leading the race almost the whole session. I'm not really sure what you are meaning, Big Sausage. My apologies, but I do think he would be able to pit onto other tires, but he decided to go onto other tires. Very interesting call from this driver. AC Dog right now being in P2, having the Red Bull driver right in front of him. So I'm not sure what is going to be the strategy behind this, since he will have to take care of the Red Bull driver right in front of him, as I'm not sure he will be able to overtake him. So those Red Bull drivers are actually in the middle of the pack right now, as Temp Shadow is going to try and abuse that, although there is some more information about the tires, where Temp Shadow is on 15 lap old mediums and AC Dog is on 1 lap old hards. So that shouldn't be a big of a problem for AC Dog, as they are coming in right now for other tires. I'm not quite sure what tires they will be going on, as it seems like they're going on to medium tires. So it's a very risky call. What is going on here, guys? I'm not really sure, as he is on 14 lap old medium tires. So I am silenced. This is very interesting, as we see AZ Dog, who was P2, in a great position, and he came into the pits and went onto 14 lap old mediums. Wilton Matt indeed needs to go on hard tires. AZ Doc was on hard tires, but he came into the pits and decided to go on to hold medium tires. As right now we see that Wilton Matt is on soft tires, but of course if he's coming in right now, he basically made an extra pit stop, which would lose him around 20 or 30 seconds. So right now, well, going on to the hards right now wouldn't be the best call, as the best thing you can hope for right now would be a safety car in a few laps. And then he would be able to go on to mediums, as he does have to have two different stints when finishing the race. So you either can go, well, have combinations of soft medium, soft hards, or medium hards, and yeah, you have to make combinations. You can also combine all three stints. You are going indeed very long with those hard tires, as we see Thames Shadow right now. While going very slow here onto the main straight, as he is going a little bit faster, and it seems like You Don't Trust Me has a very great start. And the scenario, scenario, the Ferrari driver, has even a better start, as he already overtook the Alpine driver. Although we have to keep in mind Scenario is on 3-lap old soft, so he will have way more traction compared to You Don't Trust Me and Time Shadow, as I don't think it's going to be a hard job for the Ferrari driver to overtake the Haas driver at the moment. I think you can go around 20 laps on the hards. No, actually, way more. I think 25 laps, since Time Shadow is already 17 laps on those medium tires. So You Don't Trust Me right now. On the hard tires, he is managing to keep up with the two drivers right in front of him, and it seems like Roscoe right now, who is on the soft tires, isn't really keeping up with these drivers. As we see, there is a little bit of a yellow flag going on. Reezy, who spun into that difficult sector, where I crash a lot too. As we are halfway through the race, so I don't want to see any safety cars going on anymore, since that loses some race pace of some of these guys, and that's really losing. Well, they are losing their momentum going into the race. As You Don't Trust Me has left the session, so I'm not sure what happened here. It seems like he lost traction, and maybe I'm not really sure what happened, guys, as he's coming into the pits right now. And let's have a look at Dam's Shadow at the moment. 18 lap old mediums, as I do think he's going to try and stretch those mediums until the end, as he does have a few soft runners right behind him. So he's just going to try and abuse those soft tires, well, abuse those medium tires till the end, and try to, how do I call it, guys? Try to make sure that those soft tires of the drivers right behind him degrade as much as possible, as I already see a few drivers going on to the intermediate tires right now. So it seems like there is going to be intermediate tires time, and I don't see any sparks yet. Well, any raindrops, but yeah, we will have to look further into the race. Scenario in P1 right now, followed by Thames, as it did manage to catch the Haas driver. As Roscoe right now is right behind another Haas driver, but it seems like Double Cream Cat has either given up, retired from the track, or has to go to the side, because it's actually blue flags for the Haas driver, but it doesn't seem to go to the side. So that will annoy Roscoe a little bit, as it seems like he's losing quite a bit of time behind the Haas driver. Hawk right now with a 3-second penalty on top of your screen, as I have having a little bit of trouble with my throat right now, so I will be a little bit... No way! You guys are not able to see the screen. You guys should have told me. My apologies, guys. Oh, my days. You guys should have told me. Oh, my days. I have lost a few laps. My apologies, guys. So, Roscoe right now, being in P3, I'm going to give a little bit of a summary. as we see that AZ Dog went on to the intermediate tires. And he will catch a few positions since it seems like there's going to be rain within a few seconds or a few minutes. And then we've got a few hard runners and a few soft runners at the front of the grid. So Thames is coming in right now. I do think he's coming on to intermediate tires, as that would be an ideal strategy for Thames, as I do think it's going to be raining. We already see a little bit of raindrops right now. So again, my apologies for the screen a few minutes ago, as I am going to give a refund to the league owner. I do think you would be able to. I don't think it's really a problem to race here with one blind eye. As right now we see that Bilton Matt is right behind Roscoe. He did gain a few positions going onto the soft tires and then going onto another set of soft tires. But I don't think it's been an ideal strategy for the Mercedes driver, as he is losing a little bit of time behind Roscoe, who is going a little bit slower than Scenario at the moment, since he already managed to gain 3 seconds on the top, well, from P2 to P5 basically, as Joesti has another 3-second penalty. Right now we see that AZ Dog is losing a lot of time here on his intermediate tires, and he is also we really tire, how do I say, the tire degradation is quite high at the moment if it's not really raining and you are on rain tires, so that's not very good. As we see Hawk sending in the chicane right now, so that's not good for the Alfa Romeo driver, as it seems like You Don't Trust Me has gained quite a few positions, but he retired in the pits, unfortunately. So let's have a look at the top 3 here, as it seems like Bilton Matt is going to try and overtake on Roscoe right now. I think Roscoe was driving in the McLaren last race, so he is a reserve driver, I think. As we see the drivers struggle a little bit right now. Bilton Matt really losing traction here in the rain, so I do see a lot of drivers coming in right now onto intermediate tires, as we see Roscoe losing the car right there, so that's very unfortunate. Godards right now gaining a few positions because of that mistake that Roscoe had made. And let's get back to that front, as we see that Mystery is going to try and make a move onto the Mercedes driver, as we don't see a lot of drivers coming in right now. So it might not be time yet to go onto the intermediates, but Mystery managed to overtake Bilton Matt at the moment. Right now we don't see many fights going on, as the middle pack, well, the middle of the grid is not really close to each other. So Godards being P7 will gain him quite a few positions for the Niki Lauda Championship. As we see that GFO Talamadis gained quite a few positions since he started. Well, he crashed out, I think, if I remember well. Started way back, and right now he gained 3 positions. Plus the positions he has lost at the beginning of the race. Mystery and Scenario, I don't know what it is with these guys, but they are getting points. 37 points last race in Australia, and right now they will be getting 37 points too, if I'm counting right. No, 33 points actually. And then no points for the sprint race, unfortunately. So there is a little bit of a battle going on here between the Aston Martin driver and the McLaren driver, as it doesn't seem like both drivers have DRS. So nobody will go onto the intermediate tires, as it does seem like it's going to be intermediate time weather, because the DRS has already been disabled, as it seems like Coulthard has been pushed off the track a little bit. Not a great move by the Aston Martin driver, but nothing too serious, as there is going to be a little bit of a DRS train here since from P3 till P4, well, P1, P2 till P5 are actually within 1 second of each other. So will those drivers be able to overtake each other? That's going to be the question going into that third sector here. It's still the second sector, but this is a very difficult part. And right now they're going into the third sector as we see these two corners where Leclerc crashed out in real life F1 race, as it seems like the Haas driver there has been left. So that's unfortunate for him, as I don't think he is still in the race. Another 5 second penalty for Hawk, as we want to see a little bit of battling going on here. Will the drivers go into the pits? As I do think that Hawk went on to the intermediate tires. As a lot of these drivers are actually not coming into the pits, and I think they will lose a little bit of time because it might rain a little bit more harder going into the later stage of the race. So let's have a look at the penalties. As a lot of drivers want to see how many penalties Joe Esti has. He has 21 seconds of penalties, so that's very interesting. As Goddard's only has 11 seconds of penalties, so he would have gotten one speeding in the pit lane, and then two crossing track limits. So MUFC Timmy gaining 7 positions, and Mystery right now gaining 10 positions. So Mystery has lost a little bit of positions since the middle of the race. He was P2, I think. Right now he is P4, so I think the drivers have used DRS if it is not disabled yet. The track is dry, yeah, but it seems like it's not really ideal traction-wise, as we do see a lot of drivers already struggling, as I do see a little bit of drops already on the track. So, MUFC Timmy, will he be able to overtake Bilton Matt, as he was strong in the wet weather in the sprint qualifying? So will the drivers go into the intermediate tires? I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look who is on the intermediate tires right now. AZ Dog is on 6-lap-old intermediate tires. Is he gaining time on the driver right in front of him? It doesn't seem like it, as it is going a bit up and down, as he is gaining quite a few tenths onto Thames right now, who is on 5-lap-old softs. So I do think it's an ideal strategy to go onto the intermediate tires for the drivers who are at the front right now, because you will be able to gain quite a few tenths at a later stage of the race, since it's already getting quite wet here around Imola, as there is a safety car right now. So I'm not sure what happened. It seems like Hawk has lost traction and spun it into the barrier, as we want to have a look at AZ Dog right now, as we see the Alfa Romeo driver going. Well, he is at the side of the road there, so he did spin it, unfortunately. As we want to have a look at the top few drivers, will they go into the pits right now? That's going to be the question, as we would like to see some intermediate tires, as the Red Bull drivers are actually coming into the pits for new tires. And let's have a look at Scenario. He is coming into the pits. Bilton Matt, will he come into the pits? He actually is, and the Alfa Romeo driver decided to not come into the pits. So he is on 17-lap-old hard tires, and he will try to stretch them till the end of the race, as we are going to see quite a few people coming into the pits. So I don't think it's going to be ideal for MUFC Timmy to stay out and keep driving on these 17-lap-old tires, as a lot of drivers are coming in for either intermediate tires or soft tires. He should have gone hard indeed, or maybe even mediums, as you are able to stretch those mediums till maybe 20 laps. And right now, Goddard's gaining one position on Thames Shadow. I think it was in the pits where he got that position from. So AZ Dog gaining a few positions from the drivers that went into the pit, although he is on 8-lap-old intermediates right now. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a break and let's have a look at the uh, position changes as you guys can take a stroll around there and I will be back in a few seconds. So welcome back guys to the IRC Season 12 Round 4 around Imola here. It appears there is a safety car uh, in 4 more laps going on to this main race. We've seen a short qualifying, well, a one-shot qualifying in the beginning of the session. And we saw the drivers do a 25% race where I think GFO Salamaris came on top. And right now, it seems like Scenario and Mystery are really feeling themselves on this Imola track here. Since they did start from P15 and P14, and it does seem like they are catching quite a few positions here, as they didn't have an ideal sprint qualifying. The sprint qualifying was actually a 25% race. Right now, there is a 50% race going on, with quite a few safety cars already, like I predicted at the beginning of the race. And Gotthard's got a lot of positions, 3 positions already, but we do have to keep in mind there are still penalties. Gotthard's 9 seconds of penalties. He is going to be in P9, unfortunately, as we see Bilton Matt coming into the pits, as I think he went on to intermediates, losing quite a few positions as he found himself into P2 or P3. I think he was in P3. And he couldn't drive on those soft tires because the track is really, really wet, as there is only one driver onto the soft tires and one driver onto the medium tires. So it seems like Bilton Matt has made a little bit of a strategical mistake. Very unfortunate for him. But let's have a look at the position changes again. As we see Scenario gaining 15 positions, Mystery 12 positions. There's also Salamaris, who actually started from P8 right now in P3. I think you get a penalty under safety car because, well, if you're coming into the pits, or for example, if the telemetry is there, so the safety car is driving around and there is a telemetry, you have to keep your car below. Well, a telemetry, not really a delta. You have to keep your car below that delta. And when you are below that delta, that means that you're driving at a safe speed. But if you're going above that, for 15 seconds, you're getting a drive to pit stop penalty. So, yeah. So we do see quite a lot of losers today as the safety car is coming in this lap. So still 3 laps to go when the safety car is coming in. As we see AC Dog being in P4. An absolutely amazing strategy actually from the AlphaTauri driver who went on to the well, he was in P2. I think he was in P2. He went on to the intermediate tires at the middle of the race, which I thought wasn't really a great strategy. It lost him 2 positions, but still, if he would have stayed onto those, I think he was on medium tires. he would have lost maybe even more by battling against other drivers, as we see Joe Westy getting disqualified from the session. As we are going to see a little bit of battling going on here between Alfa Romeo and McLaren, as we see MUFC Timmy trying to get back, as we see a AlphaTauri driver there going into the barrier as he did DNF. So will we see another safety car? I don't think we will, because the last few laps you aren't going to be able to see a safety car, as Coulthard is going to try and overtake Thames right now. Also MUFC Timmy, who is in 6 positions, gaining 5 positions actually. Coulthard in sixth place, who gained 3 positions. Right now, we want to see a little bit of battling going on here in the last few laps. As AZ Dog has left the session, he must be furious from what has happened here, as his car is still on the track right now. It has been removed, but let's have a look here at Mystery. Will he make a move onto his teammate? That's going to be the factor of today, as we are going to see a little bit of battling going on. Maybe you want, maybe I'm going to get the standings up for myself, not for you guys, as I want to have a look at how many points Scenario and Mystery are from each other, as it doesn't seem like Mystery has any points. And it seems like he crashed out last race, so it might be a little bit of a comeback for Mystery, who is right now in P2. Scenario won last race, who has 23 points right now. So if he wins today's race again, and GFO Talamaris is losing a little bit of points compared to the Ferrari driver, Ferrari might come back to that well, that's second place, maybe even in the Constructors' Championship. Right now, Mystery losing 2 positions. I'm not sure what happened there as I was watching at the standings, but you guys should have seen it, as I was locked onto Mystery, as the Haas driver is gonna annoy the Ferrari driver a little bit here, as it is very annoying for those drivers who left the session but not really are driving. It is very annoying because you're ghosting and you have to try to go through those ghosting cars, and yeah, it's really annoying, as we see Thames' shadow being right on Salamari's tail. So it seems like Scenario has took off already 2 seconds between him and the Mercedes driver, so they won't come back, especially when the Mercedes driver is going to have a battle with the Haas driver, and also maybe Mystery is going to have a look at that. Let's have a look at MUFC Timmy, as he's going to try and make a move onto the inside of the Ferrari driver, maybe here in the first sector, going into the second sector, as this is a very interesting corner to overtake, as we almost saw Haas, well, my apologies, Thames' Shadow making a move onto the inside of the Mercedes driver. So it is very clear that Thames and Talamaris are really well comparable, as it seems like both drivers are really having the same pace, as there is a yellow flag. So MUFC Timmy has lost traction. If he keeps it on track right now, he will still be P7, gaining 6 positions, I think it is, or maybe even 4. No, it's 6 points. My apologies, not 6 positions. 6 points. He will gain 6 points, and that will do good for the standings, of course. Reezy, another 3-second penalty, as we want to have a look at the penalties. Let's have a look at the penalties real quick. As the race winner right now, Scenario coming across the line, followed by GFO Salamaris, Thames, Bilton, and Mystery, who had the 3-second penalty. Bilton Matt overtook him at the last point of the stage. Gotthard's losing 1 position, or maybe even 2, because of his 9-second penalty, followed by MUFC Timmy. Very unfortunate, because he might have gotten into that top 5, because Mystery and Gotthard got at least 3 seconds of penalties. Roscoe, one of the biggest losers of the night. He was in P1 and P2 for a long time during the race, but he crashed out, unfortunately, and he is at P8 right now. So your race winner, um, uh, your race winner scenario, and his teammate Mystery right now being driver of the day. So let's have a look at the standings real quick, as we want to see the podium first scenario coming out, followed by Salamaris and his not his teammate actually, Thames Shadow, who fills the podium, as it was Mystery who was right behind the Ferrari driver here, but he must have lost traction or got overtaken, and also the penalty he got didn't do very well for the end result. So as the drivers are having a little bit of a champagne spray here, we want to see these actual standings, as we are going to count the points for now, as we do want to see how the standings and the constructors are going to change. So scenario with 25 points, he got 0 points in the sprint race. Salamaris gaining 8 points in the sprint race, and right now he got 18 points, so he will strengthen his position in the actual standings. As we want to get this up, Salamaris might be able to overtake his teammate right now, since he got 37 points and Salamaris has 33 points. Built and Matt, who got 2 points during the sprint race, and right now he got 12 points during the race, so he is going to get overtaken, which makes GFO P1 in the current driver standings, and Gotards, who is P6 right now, will get 8 points, and he will strengthen his position compared to MUFC Timmy, who finds himself right behind him. AZ Dog has lost a few positions because he DNF'd at the very end of the race. Thames will also gain a few positions because he found himself quite in front of the pack the whole race basically, and he got I think it is 15 points during this race, so he will come a little bit on top right now. He will probably pass McMuffin, MUFC Timmy, my apologies, Gotards, and also AC Dog. Scenario will be able to put himself into P3, I think. And GFO Metaxaki is very unfortunate for him, but he DNF'd at the early stage of the race, as we want to have a look at the constructors real quick. And maybe even the Niki Lauda Championship. So Niki Lauda right now, Niki Lauda Championship, Gotthard still P1 with quite a comfortable gap between him and You Don't Trust. It's even going to be bigger because You Don't Trust has DNF during this race. Physical also DNF'd, I think, if I remember well, who he scored a little bit of points. Steve Penny didn't drive today, so yeah, Gotthard is really secure of that P1 in the Niki Lauda Championship. As we see, the constructors right now is going to be Mercedes on top, but I think there has been a little bit of a miscommunication between the constructors since it hasn't been updated. So that's unfortunate, since we see Mercedes right now being in P1, but Ferrari scored a lot of points last race, and they are currently at 0 points. So that's something I have to work on for next race. As I do thank you guys for watching the stream, as I hope you guys liked it, and I do actually race myself, although not in this league because I'm a commentator. I hope you guys liked it, and I will catch you probably, my next stream is, I think, Sunday, but the next IRC race would be next Thursday. So I wish you guys a good evening, and I will catch you guys soon. Peace out.